Watch me ride.
Hey everybody, right, I need to bring you up to date because this was taking me a long time to do and I had to kind of jump ahead, and also the other set of wings wasn't, you know, it's just the same as what I was doing with the front, so I now have all the wings. They are slightly oversized, but they match. I'm really actually happy with the proportions as this came out. As you can see, that's what the general shape I was after was. And if we bring the Dragonfly in, there we go, could just about get it in shot. So I'm up to there, which is fantastic. As I said, this has taken me an awfully long time, and I don't think I can charge, like, you know, how much in time it's taken me. But I wanted to do this for the video series. If I get to sell it afterwards, then bonus. Right, this mesh that I was going to use for the wings. Now, I do really like this mesh, and I do think it would look cool. But I realised something very quickly. Well, you know, quickly enough that I haven't even started. Which is that the plan was to basically put it on here, cut out the shape, and then get it to fit exactly in the middle, and then weld it. And then I looked at it and went, well, one, getting that to fit perfectly in the centre of a round bar is going to be tricky. Especially as there's so many connections. All of those connections need to be welded, every single one of them, and every single weld's going to need to be cleaned up, probably a little bit. And the chances of blowing through it and just, you know, destroying it it's quite high. If I had a TIG, I think it would be great, because you can literally just go psst, 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 and just tap it on all the way around. Once you've got all those little tiny tacks, it would be plenty strong enough. But with a MIG welder, and a cheap one at that, no. So I'm changing the idea, but it's actually kind of more financially beneficial. This sheet was 20 quid, and it is going back. Especially as it was the wrong size, because that just got on my nerves. So what I've got instead is chicken wire. And I know that sounds stupid, but what I can do, because this is small holed chicken wire, is I can basically get the shape and then cut off strands so I can wrap a little bit around the arm, which is about the same colour as the arm, so you know, the arm, the wing, and it'll just hold in place and it won't distract too much, because I did realise also this hides a lot of what's going on behind it, and the chicken wire won't do that. Plus it also means that I have loads of chicken wire to do more in the future. So in this video I'm just going to get the wings finished, and then the next video will be doing the legs, and then it should be final assembly and done, which would be awesome, because this has been a lot of work. If you fancy supporting this channel, that would be great. I did grossly underestimate how long this was going to take me to make, and I haven't made anything else in this time. So if you feel like supporting me somehow, thank you. But the thing is, if I just made clocks, it would have been boring, and this thing would never have existed. So, I guess it'll be worth it. But I do have something to show you first before we get on. All of that one, and a pair of these from a Bandit 1200. All of this was donated to me by one kind fellow, and the only way I can give him sort of a shout out is to his Instagram, so that's what I'm going to do. So the person we need to thank for this is Biker Harry F900. It's on Instagram. He is a local. He is training to be a mechanic or something like that, I believe. That's how he got his hands on these things. Seriously, dude, amazing. These are going to make some really cool clocks. I know there's probably a couple of people who are already thinking, I want a clock made with that. You will, in time. I needed a piece that was size of A4. I have 10 metres. Right. Now let's trim off a clean piece. Okay, I think I'm going to do it like that. So the idea I have is if I chop off around it and make strands, I can then wrap those strands around all the way around. And as long as I do it neatly, and maybe then cover those with some wound up welding wire, because it's copper and it'll look nice either side, like a nice little wrap either side, and a twist off, and we'll have to try and smooth off those ends so they're not sharp, but you know, I guess people aren't going to be like flying this around like an aeroplane. Okay, so it looks great, doesn't it? Unfortunately, this can't do, because to get this to hold on, I've had to twist these off, and every single one of these is razor sharp, and if you try and somehow, you know, smooth them off so they're not razor sharp, it gets down to the point that they break apart anyway. Oh, I did make a mistake up here, but I was doing this as a practice run. It does look good, but it's not right. I think I know what I'm going to do though. It's going to be a bit different. It's not going to be so naturalistic. It'll be alright. See, they were pretty good. That's just one there. That's a pretty good anchor. It's just a shame that everything's so sharp. And even the ends of the wire's sharp, and it's just sharp, sharp, sharp. And I don't, even though, yeah, I know, as I said, people aren't going to be touching it, it's too sharp, it's not right. You know, if a kid sees this, they're going to want to touch it. I don't want them ripping their hands to pieces on it. I know I could spiral it around and around and around, so I only had 2 of the tie-off points, but the ends of the wire, the actual mesh itself is sharp enough that, you know, it's cut me while I'm doing this, so it's not alright, not alright. So, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I only have one option. I'm going to go onto Photoshop and I'm going to play with some different designs, but I think what I'm just going to do is put like one slightly sweeped bar across here, and then maybe a couple of wiggly bars either side, using the same 6mm steel, because I've got loads of it. I've got the bender, I've got the welder, and you know, once it's in, it's like that's on over there, and then you can get another little piece and I'm not going to go too heavy with it. Literally, I think one down the middle along this top line with some little bits, and maybe some longer bits down here. It's going to be quite a bit more work than I was hoping, but I reckon it'll be worth it. I've got to. You can't cheapen out when you start on something like this. You either finish it right or you leave it and finish it later. I can't finish it later. Well, I could, but I don't think you'd be very happy with that watching this series. If I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to leave this for 6 months now. This is the reality of making stuff, you know. It's trial and error, trial and error. I did say at the beginning there'll be a lot of trial and error. These wings have, well, the filling of the wings has been the biggest trial and error. I am happy the way I know I'm going to have to go with it. So, as I say, it's a little bit more work, but I've got the rod stock, so that's not going to cost me anything. I've had more gas arrive today. I've got plenty of weld wire, so just, yeah. And I'm getting quite good with this stuff. It's really nice, you know. If you get the weld up hot enough, you can really start to be like, oh, I want that to melt around there, and it will fill the gap, and you know, you can really round things off and use the heat to smooth it out. You know, I'm getting it. But with this clean metal, it's a lot easier than when I'm doing it on stuff that's, you know, way too thick and filthy. It turned out okay. This will be finished. This will be finished. We've got to do the legs. And then the finishing touches. God. If you feel like supporting this channel, really, today would be a good day.